Following the recent days, Sheikh Mahdi Ma'ash, a representative of the Grand Ayatollah Shirazi, began his tour visit to several Shia Islamic Centers across Europe. In his visits to France and Belgium, Sheikh Ma'ash met with the directors of several Shia Islamic Centers.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Muhammadin wa alihi at-tahirin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
All praises are due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. Allah's best blessings be upon Muhammad and the pure progeny of Muhammad. Greetings to all. Following the orders and the guidelines of the Islamic Authority Ayatollah Shirazi and his emphasis in staying in touch with Shia Muslims living abroad, especially with Shia Muslim youth, and staying in touch with the directors and managers of Shia religious centers and mosques abroad, by God's grace, we started our trip and journey in visiting Shia religious centers and mosques in Europe and meeting believers in there. Our first country of visitation in this trip was France. After France, I visited the country of Belgium and met with Shias in this country. After Belgium, by God's grace, I am planning to visit these countries, Holland, Germany, Sweden, Denmark, and Norway, and to meet with the believers in these countries. In the French capital, Paris, I met with the Shia Muslims in the religious center of Qamar al-Zahra. Afterwards, I visited the Shia Islamic Center of late Ayatollah Khoui and met with the managers of this center, Sheikh Mustafa Khaliq and Sheikh Murtaza Khaliq. A religious ceremony was held there, and I attended the ceremony. On Friday, I visited the religious center of Holy Zainab and participated in the Friday congregational prayers that was planned. After performing prayers, I met with Shias in the center. Also, I have met with the center director, Sheikh Ma'ash, may God bless him. After visiting the center, I paid a visit to the religious center of Wali Asr and met with the directors and believers in the center. In Wali Asr Center, a commemoration ceremony was planned for the martyrdom anniversary of Lady Fatima Zahra, peace be upon her, and I attended this ceremony. In all of these meetings held with the believers, I offered the prayers and the greetings of the Grand Islamic Authority Ayatollah Shirazi. After visiting Shia Islamic Centers in Paris, I headed to Lille city in northern France. There, I met with Mr. Hussein Taha, who is a Shia religious activist in this city. Mr. Hussein Taha supervises the Imam Mahdi Religious Center Association. Then I departed France and headed to Belgium, where I visited these three cities, Antwerp, Brussels, and Liège. In Antwerp, I visited the Al-Zahra Islamic Center and met with the head manager of the center, Said Abir Arjai, and other directors of the center. Afterwards, I headed to Al-Intizar Society and met with the manager of this society, Abu Yusuf, and other members of the society. Afterwards, I had a meeting with a Christian priest. I also had a meeting with Sheikh Muzaffar, who is a preacher of a Shia community. After Antwerp city, I headed to Belgium capital, Brussels. In Brussels, I visited the religious center of Imam Hassan, and there I met with the manager of this religious center, Mr. Mohammed Abu Nur, and the rest of members running this Islamic center. Also in Brussels, I visited the mosque of Sheikh Abdullah and met with the manager of this mosque, Said Mustafa Hassani. Then I had a meeting with Sheikh Hussein Amali. Later I visited Said Amir Musawi. After these visitations and meetings in Brussels, I traveled to the city of Liège. There I had a meeting with Sheikh Adel al-Budairi and also met with the directors of Servants of Ahlul Bayt Society in the city. In this Belgian city of Liège, I also visited the Khadimiyya Society, where I delivered a word and offered the greetings and prayers of the Grand Islamic Authority Ayatollah Shirazi at this gathering commemoration ceremony for the martyrdom anniversary of Lady Fatima, peace be upon her. In brief, this was my activity. Next, by God's grace, I'll be visiting Holland and Germany. Peace and blessings be upon you all.